It's going to be a lot of challenges, a lot, but you cannot give up. Just like you get up and go to work every day, do not give up on your business, no matter how hard it gets. I've heard people say that they were homeless and they were still doing their business. Car broke down, still getting up, running their business. And that's exactly how you have to be. You have to stay dedicated to it.
What's going on, everyone? How you doing today? Hey, this is Dr. Sir in another episode of the Abolitionist Pledge with TAP Entrepreneurs. And we are excited about everyone joining us today. We have another exciting opportunity for you to meet one of our entrepreneurs who is a part of what we're doing here. And as you remember, the Abolitionist Pledge is created so we can unite people with an agenda to abolish the impact of racism and racial inequality in this country. Remember, the Abolitionist Pledge is the pledge for you and I. It's the place where we create community. It's the place where we join together and unify with the purpose of abolishing the racism that impacts all of our communities. So with that said, we're gonna start our conversation, and we're excited to have Miss Candace Bailey for KB Sweets and Treats. Miss Candace, what's going on? How you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Man, I'm excited about this conversation today. I'm excited just to have you here. And thank you for taking our time to join us at the table. So, we're going to start this off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and so the viewers and so all of our members can know who you are.
Okay, I want to thank you for having me on your show. So I'm Candace Bailey. I own KB Sweets, LLC. I do custom desserts, and I have my own coffee brand. I specialize in cupcakes, though. Okay. I started the business back in 2018. And it was just something that I had been doing for quite some time. I had been baking and, just kind of doing my own thing. And I was encouraged by friends and to start a business. So back in 2018, I made it officially a business. So now you have KB Sweets and Coffee.
Okay, all right. So let's start before KB Sweets. Who was Candace?
Before I had always been an entrepreneur. I started off as a hairstylist, and it was something that I had been doing for quite some time. And then once I got the desire to want to bake, I started doing that. Once I would get off of work, I would just go home and practice on making cakes and making icing and different things like that. And then I started taking some cake decorating classes, learning different techniques on cake decorating, cupcake decorating. I took about 4 courses. Each course was probably about 4 weeks each. And through those courses, you would go from the basic cake decorating to learning how to use fondant and different icing tips and different techniques. So I did that, and then here we are.
Okay. So did mom, grandma, did someone bake? Did you use baking as a way to relax? How'd you just get involved with baking, period?
Yeah, my grandmother, my father's mother, she would bake. And I, of course, I would be in the kitchen with her, watching her how to, she would do cakes from scratch. And so it was something that I always wanted to do. And so I knew that box cakes, they were good, but they could also taste better. So that was just something that I wanted to learn how to do and perfect over time. And I feel like I've done that, not necessarily perfected it, but I can, make some good cakes of what I've been told. So.
Okay, all right. And so you were doing this kind of like a pastime, and I love what you just said. They were good, but it can be better. We're gonna come back to that. And so, because when we talk about life, it's good, but it could be better. Yeah. But you were baking, you were doing this just kind of like a hobby or what have you, and then the inspiration came from others.
Yes.
Right. And so Do you remember that conversation? What did it go like?
So it would just be from different people. What I would do mostly is I would sit and I would just kind of think about what type of cake flavors or cupcake flavors I could make. And so a lot of times I still have, and then I would actually just go and try it out. So one recipe in particular I had thought about was dreamsicle. So remember when we were children, we would eat those dreamsicles. So it'd be like a orange flavored coating on the ice cream, and then when you bite into it, it was like a vanilla. So that was just something I had thought about, and so I just sat down and I was like, well, what if it was like an orange flavored cupcake with like a cream cheese icing? And so that's what I did. I went to the store. I bought the flour, sugar, all of the stuff that I needed, orange flavoring, vanilla extract, I'm sorry. And I just went home and I played around with it and I tried it out. And I was like, oh, this tastes pretty good. So that was just something that I would do. I would just sit down and think about what would taste good. Now, sometimes and it wouldn't taste as good. And I'm like, oh no, we can't do that one. But that was basically it. It would just come from different things that I ate. And I'm like, oh, I wonder how this would taste if I mix these two flavors. And so that's how I would come up with a lot of the flavors that I have on my menu. It would just be, how would this taste together? You know what I mean? And so then I would just try it out, and it would go over well with other people, and I would just go with it.
That's awesome. Just taking that experimental route. One of the things we talk about on our interviews is the business side, because many times we have individuals who have passions, they have ideas, but don't quite understand how to bring it into the business and bring it to fruition, or understand the business challenges. So what was that like for you to actually turn your passion into a business?
We would go to a workout class, would make cupcakes. And so she said, everyone liked them. You should get your LLC and start a business. So again, I said, well, what's the LLC? So she explained it to me what it was. And so what I did was I talked to a few more people about it, and I went on to LegalZoom. Now, that's not the route that you have to take, but that was just the route that I took because I wasn't really sure, what to do by myself. So I had went on LegalZoom and basically filled out all the information, and they did all of like the legwork, and then they sent everything back to me, and I was a legal business. From what I understand, you don't have to go that route. You can go on the Missouri state.gov, I believe it is, and and do your LLC yourself for way less than what I paid. Okay. I had also took some business classes with it's under Urban League now, but at the time it was Grace Hill Women's Center. I had took the WeBo business classes, so I learned a lot from that. I just did a lot of things to just kind of further my business. Like I said, it's not hard, but it's not a walk in the park either. And it takes a lot of dedication, especially to get your business legal. So you want to stay focused on that. It's going to be a lot of challenges, a lot, but you cannot give up. Just like you get up and go to work every day, do not give up on your business, no matter how hard it gets. I've heard people say that they were homeless and they were still doing their business. Car broke down, still getting up, running their business. And that's exactly how you have to be. You have to stay dedicated to it.
I love that advice, because that's really critical. Anything that's worth having is worth working toward. So I love that advice that you just gave. So let's talk about how individuals can reach you. If they want to order one of these beautiful orange sickle cakes, which I was looking at, I was looking at the website. Well, Yeah, I saw you on social media. That's where I found you on the Facebook page. And so I saw some of the cakes and all the beautiful desserts. Oh my God, it's like, oh, but how can a person reach out to you if they want to order something? Do you have a physical location? Is there a place where they can actually meet you? Talk to us a little bit.
So I don't have a physical location. I'm a mobile business right now. And so what you can do is I do have social media. I'm on Instagram at Candy Been Sweet. That's Candy with a K. That's KandyBeen Sweet SWEET. And that's on Instagram. And then on Facebook, all uppercase letters, KB apostrophe S, Sweets SWEETS LLC, all uppercase, and that's on Facebook. And I also have a website. It's through Shopify, so it's KBS dot sweets at myshopify.com.
And you're
And so
also on Tap
and
Entrepreneurs.
I was just about to say that I'm also on Tap Entrepreneurs. On Tap, I have my coffee, which is KB Sweets Coffee. I haven't started shipping the desserts yet. That's only because I haven't really figured out the packing and the code, because I would need to have cold shipping. And so from what I understand with the shipping, sometimes the drivers are not as careful with the packaging, kind of sitting level. So I haven't really figured that out just yet, but once I get it figured out, I'll be doing shipping on the desserts as well. But the coffee, I can ship that with no problem. There's 3 blends of coffee. The Boss Candy blend is a dark roast. The Cool Cupcakes is a medium dark roast, and the Pretty Girls is a hazelnut flavor. Now I'm also coming out with a 4th blend that's going to be Ambrose Delight, and that is a vanilla butterscotch hazelnut flavor. It's really good. So we're still just kind of working on some background stuff on that blend, but it'll be coming out soon.
And we didn't talk a lot about the coffee. So how'd you come up with the idea of blending these coffees to taste like your sweet desserts?
Well, the desserts, I mean, the coffee, it doesn't really have, like, the only flavored one will be the Pretty Girls and the Ambrose Delight once I finish that background work for it. Those are the only flavored ones. I just came up with like those really cool names just because, because I
Okay.
do cupcakes. And then the Boss Candy, that is actually after one of my desserts that I make. It's called Boss Candy Pudding. And the Boss Candy Pudding is like a remix on banana pudding. And so, but it's really good. So it's like it's 4 different flavors. So you get the regular banana pudding, and then you could have the chocolate, which is just banana pudding with chocolate brownies and chocolate chunks.
Okay.
And then the other one is a strawberry, and it's the same. It's banana pudding with strawberries, strawberry brownies, and then there's a white chocolate with it's banana pudding with white chocolate brownies and white chocolate chunks. So the pudding is not like your normal banana pudding. I actually make the custard myself, and I just call it custard because it's just because I'm making it on the stove. But it's and then you have everything else. You have the bananas, vanilla wafers, whipped cream, and they all kind of blended up in one, and it's really good. And so I came up with that name just to kind of match that the Boss Candy pudding to match the Boss Candy coffee. And then the Cool Cupcakes was just that. I just called it Cool Cupcakes because I do cupcakes mostly. And I just did it with the K's because my name begins with the K.
All right. I love that.
Yeah.
Creativity.
And so and then the Pretty Girls, I just thought women, we always, when we go and we like iced coffees, right? And the first thing we'll do is we'll get a hazelnut iced coffee. So I thought, well, since I'm going with a hazelnut flavor, then I'll just call it Pretty Girls. And so that was it. That was just it. And then I thought about doing the coffee because normally when you get dessert, you want something to drink. So you'll either go for milk, coffee, or some type of juice like lemonade or something. And so I thought, well, coffee pairs well normally with cakes. And then even when you go to coffee shops, they always have like some type of cake. Sometimes you get like cake pops or different things like that. So I thought, well, I'll just add a coffee to my to my desserts. So, well, add coffee to my business. And so that was just what I went with.
Okay.
I sat down and I just Googled it, like, how do you start your own coffee? And that's literally what I typed in Google. And all these different coffee distributors popped up. And so I just emailed everybody. I sent out a bunch of emails. And when I got those responses back, I just went with the best company that showed me the best care. Let me put it that way. The distributor that I went with, they showed the best care. I talked to the owner for about an hour. He explained a lot of different things. They showed me everything I needed to do. And actually, I still like talk with them when it's time to reorder. I talk with them all the time. So I just built a relationship with them, and that was why I went with them.
That's awesome when we're talking about, and I love what you said about building relationships, because when we're endeavoring to build businesses, when we're endeavoring to reach purposes, we have to have these strong relationships. Yes. We have to have a solid relationship and be willing to do the work that it takes to cultivate those relationships. So that is awesome. We're right at the end of our interview, but I gotta bring in something that's not related to your business and the coffee and sweets. I hear you're a bit of a historian.
A little bit.
All right. You thought you were gonna get away with not talking about it, but talk to us about how'd you get into this space?
So when I was, I don't know, just being like in school, and we would learn about the same people, during Black History Month or whatever. And so I would always just pay attention during that time. And then what I would also do is I would talk a lot with family members, and they would talk about different things. And then so what I started doing is I would just start reading different books, watching documentaries, and it's still something I do to this day. So I read a lot of books and I would just find out a lot of different things, and I would just apply it to my life as I saw fit. I haven't really, I'm trying to think, the last documentary I watched was maybe about a month ago. I watched if I'm not mistaken, it's on HBO Max, and it's the assassination of Fred Hampton. And I watched that because I had did a paper on the Black Panthers when I was in college. Well, actually, it was on COINTELPRO. The paper was on COINTELPRO, and of course, the Black Panthers were on the COINTELPRO list. And so to watch that documentary, it was called The Assassination of Fred Hampton. And then I had also watched Jesus and the Black Messiah. So it was just like, I don't know, I just always kind of had an interest in our history, and just reading and watching documentaries. And sometimes I can get a bit deep with it, and I'll find out some stuff and I start sounding a little strange to people, and they'll look at me like, no, I don't believe it. I'm like, well, it's true, hon. I'm sorry, it is. So yeah. But
that just aligns with who you are as a person, because you share with us your research and just your passion and how you take these ideas and dreams and just bring them into fruition. So this has been an awesome conversation, and we're so glad that you're a part of TAP Entrepreneurs and that you're part of our family, because we know that the family is what moves the community forward. And so do you have any last words of wisdom to share with our listeners?
Yes, I'm going to say, if you are an aspiring entrepreneur, or if you are already an entrepreneur, please, please, please stay focused on what you're doing. It's going to get hard. It's going to get frustrating. But please do not give up, because it is so worth it. When you see those those paid invoices, emails, and people telling you how good your product is. Even if you're a hairstylist or a barber and people love their haircuts and love their hairstyles, it's so inspiring, and it's worth it. Give it everything you got. And there's gonna be some days where you won't have any money. You might have to eat a cup of noodles, but that's okay. That's okay. Keep going.
That's awesome. Great words of wisdom. And so we're happy that you joined us. We're glad that you took out the time to be with us. Remember, if you want to reach out, you can find KB Sweets. You can find Miss Candace on tapentrepreneur.com. You can also connect to Tap Entrepreneurs. This is a free opportunity. It does not cost anything. It just costs you to bring your ideas, help us create this community that's going to eradicate the racism and the injustice that we deal with in our country. And it's also going to build the Black community. So once again, another great Tap Entrepreneur conversation with Miss Candace Bailey, KB Sweets and Treats. We'll see you when we see you. Be blessed.